If nothing changes, the city of San Diego will begin deleting city emails on March 28th. A memo announcing the plan says it could save the city up to $500,000. Journalists and open government advocates are strongly opposed to the idea, and City Councilman David Alvarez says it conflicts with the spirit of open government laws. Corey Briggs, attorney for San Diegans for Open Government, and Ben Katz, technology entrepreneur and political director for Open San Diego. Welcome to Evening Edition.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I do want to say before we begin that the city did decline our request for this interview, so there's that over there. But Corey, you have called this plan to delete these 1 year or beyond emails, city emails, illegal. How come?
Unless you go to the city council and you get their approval for anything over 2 years, anybody else in the city, before they delete any public record, document, piece of paper, they've got to make a copy of it. And that's not part of the proposal.
Per law, because it's
by
the
law. By law.
I see.
That's
and
right.
you also have issue because the making of copy of it might be more costly than just saving it?
Well, if the purpose of this crazy idea is to save $500,000 a year, one should ask, what will it cost to print out all those emails and make archival quality copies that satisfy the statute? To have a human being printing it out page by page and making a copy of it and putting it in the archives, it's got to cost exponentially more than $500,000.
Right. And Ben, the memo announcing this plan estimates the cost, at, as you said, as much as $500,000. Do you agree with that estimate that that's how much it could cost?
Not at all. So Open San Diego is a group of IT professionals who volunteer their time to try and assist governments with technology. And we did a small internal survey of options for how to do this, and it ranged from, on the low end, as little as $20,000 to the very most expensive solution anybody suggested was $120,000. $500,000 is completely out of any reasonable range.
Well, Corey, weighing the cost, whether it's little or if it is up to the maximum range of $500,000, what do you think would be acceptable as far as a time frame for the city to keep the emails then?
It's forever. I mean, this is a no-brainer. The costs, the technology costs go down on a regular basis, and they go down substantially. Most city business, the day-to-day work, is conducted electronically. Most of the communications, it's not pieces of paper anymore. It's electronically, and they're transmitted by email. To delete that is to delete most of the story of the city's business. There's no reason to get rid of it. The cost is next to nothing.
But you were saying that it shouldn't cost that much. You gave some low figures. How come you say technology is costing less now?
Well, it's one of the really fun things about technology is it keeps getting better. If you think about paving a street, it's basically the same project today as it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, and roughly the same cost. But hard drive storage, for example, every 14 months, it gets cut in half. So in 3 years, you're down to a quarter of the cost it was. This gives us great opportunities to do amazing things. And I'm kind of a data geek. I love information. I love data. This is the history of San Diego, and we can do all sorts of great things with it if we just save it.
All right. And Corey, how does deleting these one-year-old city emails threaten open government?
Well, because most of our work these days is done electronically, the public needs to know what's going on. Right now, we have the ability to ask for any of these emails, and the city has to turn them over to us. You don't always know that something's going on until more than a year after the fact. I mean, a year is a pretty short period of time in the grand scheme of government functions. So to find out that it was conveniently deleted means that we basically would not know anything unless we were there right at the moment that it happened. Well, that's highly unrealistic, and to lose that tool, it just ties both hands behind the public's back.
And Ben, why do you think this plan is wrong?
Well, I think it's incredibly short-sighted, and I think it's based on bad information. If the city is saying to save $500,000, we need to delete these emails, they're working off of incorrect information. We can save the information for much less, and we're going to have a much more productive city for having that access to that information.
So find better information. Corey, we'll end with this. What are you planning to do to respond to this new plan?
Well, we're hopeful that one of Mayor Faulkner's first acts will be to rescind this administrative regulation. He has until Friday to do so. If he doesn't do it, next week we'll be filing suit.
Right, and I understand that you're going to sue or file a lawsuit?
Yeah, if Mayor Faulkner doesn't rescind it, that's what will happen.
Okay. Corey Briggs, Ben Katz, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.